Hey everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming my very late August wrap up. Okay, so in the month of August, I read 11 books. I did suffer a reading slump a little bit, but other than that, August was a pretty good month. So I read 11 books, like I said, for a total of 3,793 pages read, which is about 122 pages read per day. I read 10 female authors and 1 male author. I had 2 5-star reads, 7 4-star reads, 1 3.5-star read, and 1 3-star read. So overall it was a fantastic reading month other than the reading slump. So the first book I read in August was a pre-order. I pre-ordered For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. I really wanted to read this book because I really enjoyed My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. So I felt it was only necessary to read this one. And this is like, if you really like dark academia type books, then you'll really enjoy this one. I like dark academia type books, so I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. The next book I read was Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I really enjoyed this book. It was such a good book. It takes place in New York, which I think is really fun. It wasn't like anything I've ever read before, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. I gave this book 4 stars as well. The next book I read is Homefront by Kristin. I really enjoyed this book, and I think the reason why I enjoyed it so much is that I could relate to it. This book follows a warrant officer in the Army Reserves stationed out of Fort Lewis. I think I can just relate to it a lot because my husband just got accepted to flight school to become a warrant officer and fly Blackhawks like the girl in this book, and we are at Fort Lewis. So I don't know, I just felt like I could relate to this book a lot. I loved this book. It was pretty sad, but not as sad as her other books. I gave this book 4 stars. The next book I read was The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This book, it wasn't what I was expecting. It was kind of just so-so to me. I listened to it on audio with my mom. We were on a road trip and it was dark and she needed something to keep her awake and not fall asleep. So I was like, let's listen to an audiobook. And I had brought this book with, so I followed along with the book, and she was enjoying it, but it was just so-so to me. I ended up giving this book 3.5 stars. The next book I read is The Light Between Oceans. This bad boy is the reason for my reading slump in August. I don't know, it just bored the absolute crap out of me. It really did. I don't understand why. It sounded like it would be right up my alley. I love historical fiction, but it just was so boring, and I'm a piece of shit who doesn't know how to DNF books, so I suffered through it and it put me in a reading slump. This book took me 8 days to read. 8 days! I gave this book 3 stars. The next book I read is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I was kind of let down by this book. A lot of people said it was such a cute book and they really loved it, but I just feel like there's other romances that I've liked better. Like The Dating Plan, all-time favorite romance. But this book just, it didn't catch me how I would have liked. It was still a super cute book and I did enjoy reading it. It just wasn't what I was expecting based off what everyone else was saying. So I only gave this book 4 stars. The next book I read is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I did enjoy this book. I thought it was fun. It wasn't like anything I've read before. It's a different premise to anything that I've ever been used to. And the cover is absolutely beautiful, which is another reason why I bought the book to begin with, was because of the cover is so gorgeous. I did enjoy this book with like all the potions and the witchery and stuff like that. So I gave this book 4 stars. The next book I read is Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. Not sure how to pronounce it. She commented on my Instagram post of when I bought this book. I did like a book haul post, and she commented and said that she hopes I enjoy it, and I most certainly did. I thought I knew who done it, and I thought I knew what was gonna happen, and I was pleasantly surprised that what I predicted was not at all what happened, and who I thought did it was not at all who did it. Fantastic read. Super quick read too, because it's not that big of a book, but I just really enjoyed this book a lot. This book is obviously about a local woman who's missing with her daughter, I believe. Yes. her 6-year-old daughter. They vanish just blocks away from where the last person who was missing, or from where the last person who went missing was. So really good book. 5 stars. The next book I read is Daisy Jones and the Six, which I followed along in this book with the audiobook because everyone said that I needed to read it with the audio. And if you did not listen to this book on audio while following along or just listen to it on audio, you missed out a lot. The full cast in the audiobook was fantastic. It made me feel like this band was real. I do know that Taylor Jenkins Reid made a playlist on Spotify of songs that would be the type of songs that Daisy Jones and the Six made, and a lot of it's Fleetwood Mac, and I really like Fleetwood Mac music, so I really feel like if this was a real band I would listen to their music. But I loved the way that this story was told. It was told more of like dialogue, I guess is what it's called, where just the characters speak. There's no like describing like what they're doing at the time, which was a nice change in scenery for me. So I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. The next book I read was Room by Emma Donoghue. I watched this movie a long time ago, so I felt like it was okay to read the book now because it's been a minute since I've seen the movie and it made me want to rewatch the movie. But I felt like I was reading a nonfiction book. I feel like because stuff like this happens all the time. This book is about a woman who was abducted. I want to say she was 17 or 19. She was a teenager when she was abducted, and she's abducted by a man named Old Nick, and he's not a very nice man, and he ends up getting her pregnant. And so the story is told by the perspective of the 5-year-old boy named Jack, and it's a good book. I enjoyed it a lot. I gave this book 4 stars. And the last book I read was Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. This book ripped me to shreds. It destroyed me, and I think the reason why it destroyed me so much is the fact that I remember, I don't want to give too much away. If you haven't read this book, I'm going to try not to give away spoilers, but if you have not read this book, I definitely would not listen to this review just in case I say something that might spoil it for you. So if you have not read this book, please end the video here. But I think the reason why I, not related, but like felt so strongly in my emotions about this book is because when it was talking about when they were bringing their baby boy home from the hospital, I felt like I knew exactly how that felt because that was so fresh in my memory of when I brought my son home from the hospital, with me in the back seat with my son and my husband driving very slow below the speed limit. And I don't know, because there was a little baby boy that they had in this book, I just felt like I could relate to it. And then when I find out what happens, I just lost it. Absolutely lost it. Could not stop crying. Was absolutely devastated, and I don't know, even thinking about it now, it just breaks my heart. I know it's fiction, but like the thought of that actually happening, oh my god, whew. Okay, anyways, I gave this book 5 stars. Beautifully written, Colleen Hoover. As usual, I give all her books 5 stars. But that's all the books I read in August. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite reads in August were. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on your post notifications to be notified every time I upload, which I promise is not going to be a 3-month break anymore, or 4-month break, however long it was, because I have an external hard drive now, as mentioned in the last 2 videos. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!